All right. So, a buddy of mine yesterday said he wanted to start doing next solos, and I told him that I would make this range next solo video for him, and hopefully, not only him, but whoever else decides to take a look at this video will also get a little something from it. Um, I just do solos one kill at a time so that you don't have to worry about how much food you use or switching for resonance or anything like that. Just nice and easy. Get a kill, bank, go do another one. Um, I always bring the repriser. It's a good switch to have for Zeros phase. It's nice to be able to switch it on and use reflect and revenge. It's a very strong combination and it's really useful for Zeros phase. To start the next instance, you gotta either get kill count after you go up to next, um, or you have to wear this ancient ceremonial. You can wear this shard of Zeros as well to prevent things from attacking you, and you will also need a frozen key with charges. The frozen key is obtained in God Wars Dungeon 1. You can get key piece drops from basically anything, and you have to get one from each faction. Um, and it's not too difficult. There is a little bit to it, and there's a kind of a rough part uh, in blood phase. A lot of people struggle with blood phase, trying to not let Nex heal more than they do damage wise. One thing that can help with that is having the boost from the Glaycore caves. So we'll go get that. That will affect your damage output at Nex. It's supposed to be a pretty decent damage increase, from what I've heard. And I usually do it. I don't always. Sometimes I forget, but it is a good thing to do. So I'll show you guys how to get there real quick. You home telly Edgeville, run east across that little bridge by the river in the wilderness towards the Grand Exchange. Take the ferry ring. Or, go to any other ferry ring too. They all work. But anyway, yeah, so that's just the way I usually do it. Use ferry ring, and the code on here for this one is DKQ Glaycourt Cave. You can manually dial it if you don't have it yet. And all you have to do is teleport there, and you are good to go. Get the boost. I don't think you even have to move at all. I just did. Anyways, so it's good to use Supreme Sharpshooter. Next does have fairly high defense. I recommend Ascensions. Noxbow also works. Some people recommend Noxbow. I also recommend Range Void, Superior Range Void if you have it, and as well as some form of melee boot to prevent in the second phase. Next likes to do a little bleed. Pocket slot, you can use an aura, or I mean, you can use a scrimshaw if you'd like, or you can use a god book. I think the scrimshaw is probably a little better. And I like to use a reaper necklace personally. You can also use amulet of souls or blood fury or whatever. There's quite a few options that are viable. You throw on the ancient ceremonial before you go through the door, and the shard of Zeros prevents you from being attacked as well. Sorry, I gotta decline this. This guy's trying to get me to go to hard mode, but I gotta just real quick let him know I won't be able to go just yet. Fugan is doing a quick next solo. Alright, so once you're up here, there is in fact a bank. So you can go ahead and bank your ancient ceremonial, switch your gear back on, and definitely, I would say definitely bring melee boots, especially if you're inexperienced. You don't want to have to deal with that bleed. Um, yeah, I put sharks in the pack yak. It's not really totally necessary um, to use a pack yak. You can definitely do it without, but I like the opportunity to perform poorly and still come out successful. So in, insulate myself against my own shortcomings once in a while here. All right, start the encounter. It will spawn range when you create an instance and start your own encounter, which is why I do range solos. Gear for range. You don't have to worry about any switches. Just leave, come back, and you'll always get a range spawn, which is a spawn where it doesn't protect from range. Um, Basically, you want to pray range. Yeah, make sure to set your quick curses also. Pray anguish for the range boost, and then pray protect magic. All except for shadow phase. During shadow phase, you actually switch to range prayer. So I'd recommend having deflect missiles on your bar as well for a quick switch, and deflect magic, or you can just flick your quick curses if you set it to magic. Yeah, so that should do it. We will start the kill. Everything's good. Yep. We start it fastest. Start. Alright, banish ward. You jump down. And Nex likes to, in the first phase, likes to pull you and knock your prayer off. So after she calls her fourth pet, it's prudent to go ahead and anticipate to avoid any potential pulls, knock your prayer off, bring you in melee distance, all kinds of unpleasant stuff. So you just do that early. Use basics. You're free to use bleeds on this phase, but one thing that's going to be heavily emphasized in this video is to make sure you don't use bleeds on blood phase, which is after killing this minion over here, the third one. For now, you're just DPSing him down, trying to get him to 160k when he will call the minion. Keep using freedom or anticipate. Active, have them active as often as you can. I dropped them. You might get to see a pull here since I can't freedom right now. One thing that you'll get from my videos that you won't get from some other people's is the perspective of somebody who's by no means a pro. You know, I just PVM and enjoy myself. I'm not trying to be the best in the world or anything, but I am trying to get successful kills, and I am also trying to show other people how to do the same if they want to. So after you kill that first minion, you'll go into shadow phase, and he'll say fear the shadow, and if you don't move off of the spot that the shadow is on, you'll take heavy damage, 4 or 5k, somewhere in there. And you want to be praying range throughout this phase, so make sure to remember to switch to range before you start, and move whenever he says fear the shadow. And if he says embrace darkness, he will say fear the shadow right afterwards, so you get a little extra warning on those ones. But after the first one, he'll just say fear the shadow. You got to be fairly quick on those. DPS him down, lots of thresholds. Now we're going to be going into blood phase in a second here, so while you DPS this minion down, use only basics and get 100% adrenaline, kind of brew up so that you have a lot of health. Then you tag him into blood phase and be ready to ult. Switch to magic prayer, ult, adren pot, and snipe. Then you needle strike. Then you snapshot. Then use a couple more basics, another threshold. Use escape to clear that blood sacrifice. Get back in there into the swiftness, and rapid fire, and that'll do it. There's one siphon blood phase there. Head over here to Karor, the next minion, and now it will be ice phase. So that's pretty cool. He's stuck over there, so he's not bothering me while I do this. Now he will alternate between ice prisons and contain. On the ice prison, you have to have high health because it's going to hit super high. You can barricade to avoid this. You can also freedom to avoid the stun. that goes with it and just eat up. You can also brew up even if you don't prevent the stun, so that's nice. You just run away from the contain so you don't get hit with that. Make sure your prayer doesn't drop into your praying mage once again. Yeah, so we just brew up to 1,000 over full. Get back on him. Oh, and you also should probably get a bonfire boost before coming in here. That's helpful. A lot of people do it. Dude, he's gonna do the contain like right on my face. Thanks for that, buddy. Hopefully we can clear this minion before the Prison of Ice and Zeros phase simultaneously. Nope. We tagged him into Zeros. That's dangerous. You don't want to do that. So now on this phase, he just does more damage. He soul splits. He stays all up on you in melee phase. Or, I mean, in melee distance, rather. So I like to ult with the Ascensions on and build up a Dren Pot and get a rapid fire off. He does have a damage cap, a lower damage cap than in other phases as well in Zeros, which makes this a little more difficult. Like the snapshot won't be able to hit that high. It'll only hit like maximum of like 4,000 or something. But anyways, so you pop your thresholds off despite the fact that they won't do as much damage as usual. Then I like to switch to a repriser, reflect, revenge, and go ahead and rapid fire as soon as you can. It's good to needle right before you rapid fire actually, which I didn't do there. Increases the whole shlabang by 5%, I believe it is. He's almost dead now, so we're gonna have a successful kill. Hopefully get a little good loot. That'd be nice, right when I decide to make a video, huh? Little loot for us. No, just crap. Brews and restores. Well, I'm a cheap guy, so I'm gonna go ahead and snag these brews, as many as I can fit in this inventory. Put all the non-used food back in the yak. Next is probably gonna run up and start hitting me while I grab all this, but I'm gonna just take it on the chin. Oh no, I'm gonna finish in time anyway. Yeah, that'll do it. Is there more brews down there? Jeez, there is. That's a lot of brews. Let me get one more. One more for the road. Alright, and that's how you do range solos. And then you would just rinse and repeat. Go back and do that. That rotation for blood phase is usually pretty successful. So I hope all you guys who give it a try enjoy the video, and I hope you get successful kills. I appreciate the views. Thanks, guys.